Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Ryan Gomez.
I am Jon Kapora. Hi.
Got a great bunch of preview cards from Shadows over Innistrad for you today, Friday,
sure do.
March 18th.
TGIF.
Let's kick it off with Thalia's Lieutenants.
Woo!
I admit, John, I don't play a lot of Modern, but I feel like Champion of the Parish into Thatcher Revolt, if you remember that one, gives you an attack of 14 on turn 3, plus 3 from the turn before, really, so you've done 17 damage at that point. Feels really explosive, if somewhat unstable, which is right where all the best Modern decks seem to be.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I definitely have nightmares of Champion of the Parish into Gather the Townsfolk, so I guess this continues the proud tradition.
If you can't beat them, join them, I guess.
Sure. Up next, there is Welcome to the Fold.
Yeah, so you get to steal something small or save up some mana, find a way to discard this for free, and then you can steal something bigger. Green and black creatures usually have the most toughness. You're going to have a harder time nabbing them. You're actually going to be better off stealing something that's red or white, which is great because those little aggressive guys tend to give blue the most problems anyway, so this is right where you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, I foresee discarding this card to Jace Vryn's Prodigy a lot.
I think I see where the rest of this is going to go.
And then I'll probably flash it back with Jace Telepath Unbound, and that'll be pretty good.
All right, John, let's just stop it right there.
Why?
Because you can't just say every Madness card is going to be good with Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Obviously, that's going to be the case. People aren't tuning in to hear that water is wet.
I mean, look, I'm not saying every Madness card is going to be awesome with Jace Vryn's Prodigy. I'm just the blue ones.
Okay, all right. Well.
And Fiery Temper.
Okay.
And probably, Incorrigible Use is probably going to be good.
All right, forget it. All right, moving on. Up next, we have Behold the Beyond.
So this card has to be good in Legacy and Vintage, right?
I don't know about that, but I do think every Commander deck that touches black is going to want a copy, and I'd even be happy to run it in a limited deck, despite the high cost.
So when I saw this card originally, I was not thinking 40-card decks, but now that you mention it, it does not seem bad.
I mean, I think this format will be a lot slower than we just had in Battle for Zendikar block, right? You're going to have time to fill up your graveyard and get Delirium. You're going to have time to cash in your clues and draw your extra cards. I think they're kind of designing it around a longer game, right? We mentioned Skulk creatures, which are going to be smaller overall. So I think you're going to actually hit 7 mana. You're going to get to redeem this and draw your best 3 cards out of your deck pretty often.
Sure. So I'm not convinced that the format's necessarily going to be slower. I think Skulk actually kind of speeds up a format. Plus, there's going to be stuff like Hinterland Logger running around. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Up next, we've got Silver for Partisan.
Mm-hmm. So if you take this guy and you add Zada Hedron Grinder, you're going to have a great FNM.
Zada Hedron Grinder, another Hill Giant. Look at you.
Man, just right in that sweet spot. So notice that this guy doesn't just trigger on your own instants and sorceries. If your opponent tries to target him with something removal, maybe like a Grasp of Darkness or whatever, he'll still leave behind a token. So it kind of reminds me of Voice of Resurgence or something like that. It's pretty good company to be in, really.
Yeah, I mean, Voice is a good card to be like. I was thinking more like Thunderbreak Regent, like this will be the complement to Thunderbreak Regent, but I think Voice of Resurgence is actually a more apt comparison, so I like it. It's a good card.
All right. In your face.
Okay.
So there's no red card today because we're still reeling from Harness the Storm.
Nah, it's a good card. I don't know. It's probably
you can pre-order that one or any of the good ones we talked about today at TCGplayer.com right now. We'll see you next week with more previews from Shadows over Innistrad. Stay tuned. See you next time.
Goodbye, Internet. Have a good weekend.